Good evening, Rabbi. Tomorrow, B'ezrat Hashem, we have Tanit Ester coming up, so we have to fast tomorrow. Whoever is healthy, strong, good, you should fast. Don't try to say, oh, well, it's just, it's just something, minhag, no, you have to fast if you're healthy. But if a person is sick, and he doesn't feel good, let's say he has he has a flu or something, and he's in bed, whatever, so he doesn't have to fast. He's patur, sure, something like that, right? Or if the doctor tells him, listen, you can't fast, you're sick, you have this condition, that condition, you have, I don't know, God knows what, whatever it is, right? You have asthma, you have, yeah.
If you have medication, five pills, 6 pills, what should you do?
Yeah, so medication on a tanit, you can take medication, no problem.
With water?
If you need water, you can, a little bit, poco, it's like this, right? You can take a little bit. I personally, I can swallow pills without water. I don't need water. I can, I don't know. I have a good mouth. My mouth is big mouth, as they say, a big mouth. So I don't need really water to swallow pills. If you don't need it, don't use it. But if you need it, so take a little bit, and you don't have to make a bracha on that. No bracha. Just take a little water. There's no bracha for that because you're not drinking it because you're thirsty, right? You're drinking because to swallow. So there's no blessing there, right? So yeah, you can take medicine, no problem, right? Especially I'm talking about what? I'm talking about medicine which has no taste, right? Just capsule or pill, no taste, no good taste, no sweetness. You know what I mean? No problem. If it's a sweet one, what do? You're not supposed to enjoy it, on tanit, tanit. So what do? Used to say Rabbi Scheinberg, the thing to do is like you wrap it, like some plastic, you can swallow it like that. Cellophane, take one of those cellophane bags, and wrap it a little bit, swallow. It's not going to kill you, don't worry, I promise you. The doctor will say, right? It won't kill you. There's no problem. A little cellophane was not going to kill you. So you can wrap it up a little bit, and this way you don't enjoy the sweetness of it, right? That's the thing. But if it's not sweet, let's say it's bitter, bitter capsule. So you don't need nothing. It's good. You can take it as it is.
What about if you're diabetic?
What about if you're diabetic? What's the question?
No. Yeah, to eat.
So ask your doctor. If your doctor says, listen, you have to eat because you're diabetic. Not everybody who's diabetic has to eat. I remember Maran, my rabbi. Maran. He was diabetic, but he fasted anyway. Because he was strong. So depends on you.
Sometimes it's dangerous.
Yeah, you're right. Ask your doctor. If your doctor tells you, listen, you cannot fast because you're diabetic, so don't fast. That's it. Whatever the doctor tells you, right? Follow the doctor's orders, as I say. That's what you do, right? No problem. Yeshal Malismoch. You have what to rely on. So that's the way it is, When does it start, by the way, the Tanit? Tomorrow morning it starts at 5:43. Right? According to my luach, right? Because my luach is a Sephardi one. The Ashkenazim, they start a little bit earlier, maybe 5:30, a little bit earlier. It's not for us, So don't, the Ashkenazim tell you, yeah, we start, 5:25, that's for them, not for us. That's not our custom. For us, the custom is 5:43, that's good enough. So that means you can, if you want to eat breakfast, let's say, right? You want to eat breakfast. You're going to work tomorrow, so you need some energy, you can't be hungry all day. So wake up, 4:30, and eat your breakfast, whatever you want to have, right? Whatever you, no problem, right? Whatever you want to do, you can do that. According to Kabbalah, by the way, you're not supposed to do this, but what? We're not mekubalim, all of us, Kabbalists, We're not babasali, you know what I mean? We're normal people, so we do according to halacha. According to halacha, you're allowed to eat on right before the fast starts, after you slept, whatever. But here's the thing, right? You have to make sure if you want to eat, like something before the morning, or even if you want to just drink something, let's say you want to wake up early and drink some water, get ready for the fast, 2 cups of water. So what you have to do is before you go to sleep, make a tanai. What is a tanai?
Don't eat too much.
No, that's okay. You can eat as much as you want, no problem. But what I'm saying is like this: you make a tanai. What's tanai? You say, right, that if I wake up in the morning, I'm going to eat, I'm going to drink, or you think about it. Yeah. That's good enough, So you have to do that if you want to eat, make sure because otherwise if you don't make a tanai, and you wake up in early, you cannot eat because you didn't, you already started the tanit if you didn't make a tanai. So make sure, before you go to bed, make a tanai, right? This way, right? You have no problem. You can eat, you can drink, whatever you want to do before the fast starts. What time does the fast end? Right here also, right? We have a different custom than the Ashkenazim. What we do is after Shkiyat Hachama, right? After the sun goes down, we do another 20 minutes, and that's it, right? That's good enough, So, right, Shkiyah is now about 7:10, So 7:30, we're good to go, right? You can eat already 7:30. Ashkenazim, they wait 7:40, 7:45. It's okay with them; they can do whatever they want. Right? For us, this is 20 minutes is good enough. It's the Rabbanan also. It's not from the Torah. This Tanit. By the way, not only it's not only from the Torah, but it's also just a minhag. This Tanit, not like all the other Taniot. Tanit Ester is a minhag. So what does that mean? There's no really obligation halakhically, but we took it on as a custom, so that already makes it like a obligation, It's minhag. Minhag Yisrael Torahi. So we do it from minhag. This is why, the Rama says in the Shulchan Aruch that if a person, if he has like a, let's say bad headache, let's say, or something is hurting him, he's patur from the time. He doesn't have to fast. The Rama says, because it's only minhag. So if he has a bad headache or something is hurting him, he's in a lot of pain, and whatever. So he's patur, that's what it says in the Rama. So whatever, so if you're healthy, try to do it, If you're not so healthy, whatever, so then ask your doctor or whatever, or if your body is not strong enough, whatever, so you do what you have to do, right?
We can eat after Arabit, right?
Yeah, 7:30, right? I don't know what it depends what time you pray Arvit. Some people do early, some people do a little bit later. But 7:30, right? You can eat, right? Like we're gonna probably finish Arvit today at 7:30. That's that's good. That's good enough, right? We don't need more than that. Baruch Hashem, everything is good. So this is the way the Tanit goes. Also, the Chazal say, by the way, in the Talmud, they say Masechet Brachot, I think it's over there. It says right that the main benefit of the Tanit, they say, is to give tzedakah also. So try to give also tzedakah on the Tanit. It's an important thing. If somebody comes to you, wants some tzedakah. There are some people, who are walking around, looking for money. They're in a bad situation. So have mercy on them, have rachamanut on them, give them, because it gives you kapara, because the Tanit, the whole thing with Tanit was what? Kapara, for your sins. So there should not be any kitrug on us, some accusations on us, So when you give tzedakah, it reduces the accusations. Another thing you have to do on Tanit also is, prayers, right? We do a lot of prayers. We do tachanunim, right? We do like a big, slichot, whatever, in the morning. We do a big one, a long one. So this is also important thing. Prayers, tzedakah, and also what else? Teshuvah, right? Another thing, right? You have to do on Tanit. Do teshuvah. So if you have they say, right, in the Talmud, that, you have to look for sins, in the community. If there are some people are not doing things the right way. Whatever. Look for the sins and try to correct them, on Yom Tanit, make sure, right, everything is corrected. So all the sins are gone, So also if you have your personal issues, whatever, sins, that you have to, think about, to do teshuvah, time to do teshuvah is Yom Tanit, right? This is a good time to do teshuvah also, right? So this is all the good things that we do on Tanit in order to forgive us for our sins. The truth is, right, that Yom Tanit Ester is supposed to be when? On the 13th of Adar, which falls on Shabbat, what I mean? And so we cannot fast on Shabbat, right? You're not allowed to fast on Shabbat. That's why we don't do on Shabbat, right? So we don't fast on Shabbat unless it's Yom Kippur, right? Yom Kippur Shabbat, we fast. But any other fast, right, that comes on Shabbat, we push it off, whatever, right? The next day or whatever. So here what we do is, right, instead of doing it on Shabbat, we push it up to Thursday, Why not Friday? Why not Yom Shishi? Because, it's hard to fast on Yom Shishi because Shabbat is coming in. You know what I mean? It's difficult because of the, the situation with Shabbat and everything. So therefore, we want to avoid, because the thing is, what happens is like this, right? That if you're fasting on Yom Shishi, what happens is that you have to fast also on Shabbat a little bit. What does that mean? When you go to synagogue, right, and you pray Arvit, it's already Shabbat, and you're still fasting, suffering, and this is not good to be like that on Shabbat, to be fasting on Shabbat. That's why we push it up to Yom Hamishi, right? This way everything is good, right? No problems. Right? So we push it up, even though it's not really the day of Tanit Ester, but it's like dachu, we pushed it because of the situation that we have. I'm sorry? Oh, okay, good. So he's asking a good question. He's a sharp guy, this one. Ben Torah, Ben Torah. So he asks good questions, this one, He has also always good questions. So the thing is like this, that he's saying like this, right? That if sometimes the 10th of Tevet, which is also a fast day, which is in the winter, right? We had it already. We passed it, Sometimes it falls on Friday. It fell on Friday? That's what it was? Okay, good. Okay, very good. So whatever it is, right? Every few years, it falls on Friday. So what do? Do we fast on Friday? And the 10th of... We do. But I just told you we should push it to Thursday, right? So what's the difference? Good question, right? So the answer is like this. The answer is that because it fell on Friday, so we keep it on Friday. But here it didn't fall on Friday, it fell on Shabbat. So if we're pushing it up, might as well push it all the way to Thursday. This is the difference, you understand? If it falls on Friday, okay, so do it, But if it falls on Shabbat, why do it Friday? Right? No reason. If you're pushing it, already push it 2 days. Right? Push it another day. This is the way to do it. Okay, very good. So this is what we do on Tanit, right? We do all these things to give us kapara, right? To give us mechila. Why do we fast, by the way, on Tanit Ester? What's the reason why? Misha Nichnas Adar, Marbim Besimcha. It's supposed to be, like this month is supposed to be Sameach. So why should we be doing Tanit? What's the reason why we do this? So the truth is, that it says in the Megillah that right when Achashverosh, he made right the decree, to eliminate the Jews, right, to exterminate the Jews. So what happened was that Esther, right, she was, by the way, she was not just a regular lady, she was a Neviah, she was a prophet, so she was a big tzaddikat, this lady, what I mean? So she was gozer, she made a gzerah, she made a decree to fast for 3 days, to avert the decree of Haman, right? The decree of Achashverosh. So they fasted for 3 days. You understand? Yeah, so here's the thing, right? That Tanit was not at this time. It was on Passover. It was on Pesach. So then the question is, right, why do we fast on this time? Why don't we do the same thing like Esther did on Passover, Because the truth is, right, on Passover, you're not allowed to fast. It's a holiday. It's a chag. You know what I mean? So they fasted because, for them it was like life and death, we're going to die, lo aleinu, Shem yirachem, you know what I mean? So they were allowed to fast because it was an emergency, But by us, it's not an emergency like that. It's not like, somebody's coming to kill us, Some crazy guy, Whatever, right? It's coming to kill us. So we're not that desperate, So we don't fast on Passover. You're not allowed to, it's a holiday, it's a chag. You're not allowed to fast. So therefore we do it at this time. But why this time? What's the reason why? Why before Purim? Because, right, there was accusation of Haman. Haman was looking for ways. It says, right, in the Masechet Megillah, in the Gemara, he was looking for ways to kill the Jews, to exterminate them. He had all this chokhmah. He was chacham, this guy. Chacham for bad things, not for good, right? For bad, So he had chokhmah. So he was looking for a way, to find the right time to exterminate the Jews. So he found that this was the right time. This time. Why? Because there was some Moshe Rabbeinu, the Rabbi of Am Yisrael, he passed away 7th of Adar, and there were some things, that he found there, so he felt that this was the best time to exterminate the Jews, with his chokhmah, with the kishuf, right, the sorcery, this is what he was doing, making all kinds of, calculations and this kind of thing, He was chacham, chacham rasha, So he found that this was the time, so there's accusation at this time, always, every year, that comes back, because of Haman's calculations. This is the reason why we do the Tanit at this time, right before Purim. In order to avert the calculation, the cheshbon that Haman made against us. This is the whole thing. So this is why we do the Tanit Dafka at this time of year, right? And also, right, I want to remind you the Zecher Lemachatzit Hashekel, right? How much do you have to give, and when do you give it, right? So the truth is, you can give it now if you want, But the custom, the minhag is to give it on Erev Purim, when we come to hear the Megillah. But the problem is it's Shabbat, so we're not going to bring money, most of us are not going to bring money, right? Unless you wait, until Shabbat goes out, you can bring money. But most of us probably will not do that, So then, when do you give it? So that you can give it either on Friday, right? You can bring it on Yom Shishi, if you want to do it like that. You can bring it tomorrow also. You can bring it also on the day of Purim, Sunday. If it's hard for you to bring it some other time, whatever it is, you can bring it any time like that. So what's the minhag? Right, just tell you right quickly. What's the custom? Yeah. Yes. So what's the minhag? The minhag is to give for each family member. Zecher Lemachatzit Hashekel. But the truth is, it depends on how old they are. Also, some say it's only like above the age of 20. Some say it's the above the age of bar mitzvah. But the custom is to give for everybody. Whatever. But you don't really have to according to halakha. According to halakha, the young children don't really need it. But what they do is like this. That how do you know how much to give, right? How do you know what's the amount? So the truth is, right, that it says in the poskim that we give 9 grams of silver, right? This is the amount that we should give. Because this was the weight of the Machatzit Hashekel in those times, in times of the Bible. So we give 9 grams of silver. So I looked up Google, right? And I saw, right, how much is a gram of silver? I checked, it's 80 cents. So therefore, if you times 8, right, 80 cents by 9, how does it come out? $7.20. So this year, that's what you got to give. For each person, $7.20, right? If you 10, no, 7, not 10, 7.20. If you want to give more, right? Kulam mosif mosifim lo. Very good, Baruch Hashem. God bless you, right? You want to give more, good, right? But the thing is, you got to give for each family member, So if you have you and your wife, and whatever, and your grown children, so each one has to have also 7.20, right? Same thing. If you can't afford it, by the way, let's say it's too much for you. Some people, they're not so rich, whatever. So then you can give $50 for each person, or for the children, if you want to give less for the children, because they're not obligated anyway. So give $50, So whatever you can afford, right? 7.20 is the good thing. $50, if you cannot give 7.20, $50, you can try that. It's another opinion. That's what you do. Yeah, that's what you do. So you give this much, and
Tomorrow morning, 10:30, and American time, we will pray Shema Yisrael.
Why? Why is that?
On the internet.
Okay, so Bezrat Hashem, Haba Aleinu L'Tova, Amen ve'Amen. Baruch Adonai Le'olam, Amen ve'Amen. רבי חנניה שאומר, רצה הקדוש ברוך הוא לעשות ישראל, לפיך אכיל בא להם תורה ומצוות שנאמר אדוני חפץ למען צדקו יגדיל תורה וידיר.